Hey, robot enthusiasts. I'd received a few requests to go into a little more detail about my RC-controlled mower project, nicknamed MowMoney. And so here's a few more details and a little video about what it's all about. This all came about because I have some steep slopes on my property that are a little bit too steep for the riding mower, and they just weren't getting done. So I thought, I saw a picture of a robotic mower that someone else had made, and I'm like, well, let me see if I can work something up. So here's a few details about the electronics and the mechanicals of how this thing works. It starts out with a Toro regular lawnmower stripped down to just the mower deck and the gasoline engine. And to that, I've added 4 wheelchair motors, gear motors from Super Droid Robots, and they also have a package where you buy the motor and the hub and the tires, and they're all compatible with each other. And fabricated some brackets to attach the motor to the mower deck itself, and also the battery boxes are just sheet metal and some angle steel fabrications in order to make everything work. I did a little bit of welding with it. I'm not a great welder, but there's also you could do it with just nut and bolt attachments if you really wanted to. And so the batteries it's a 24-volt system. The batteries are 2 Optima deep cycle batteries that I had from a different solar project I wasn't using. And the boxes are a Moroso drag racing quality box. It's got a good heavy-duty steel hold down and sealed up plastic lid. So those things work pretty good for the containing the batteries and keeping them stable. All the wiring I did with some heavy-duty connectors, like the power to the motors goes through this heavy-duty connector, and also each motor itself has a fused inline fuse, just in case there's some problem with each individual motor that can protect it, as opposed to putting stress on the entire system. The exhaust from the mower I had to route through a copper pipe extension to keep that from blowing against the motor, the battery box. And I added a sheet metal deflector to the side of the mower to help with deflecting the debris that comes out of the side at the inside of the electronics area. This is the 80 amp main power breaker, and it feeds into these to this positive bus bar that helps distribute the power amongst all the other components that need to get connected. I got a negative bus bar as well. The main power switch back here is this big battery switch, so you turn that on, and then that gives power to the electronics inside the box here. This is a RoboClaw 2x60 amp motor controller, and that also that gives power to the motors. And then these 2 blinking lights back in here are the Electoc switches. One switch controls the motor brakes, which have to be disengaged before you give power to the motors, and then the second switch is a engine kill switch, which grounds out the spark plug of the gas engine should you lose connection with the RC system or you lose power to the system. So it's wired as a fail-safe, normally closed. If everything is unpowered, this relay is in a normally closed position and it grounds out the spark plug. You have to enable it or enable the relay to unground the spark plug so you can start the motor and let the engine run. So it's a fail-safe type of situation. This Fly Sky is a 6-channel RC transmitter, and 2 channels control the wheels, and 2 channels over here I don't use. I've got the RoboClaw in here has a programmable system where you can mix the channels very easily through their software. And so when you can use one stick to control the motion forward, back, left, and right. So let me release the brakes here, and then as I roll the stick forward, both sets of wheels go forward. Roll it back, both sets of wheels go back. If I'm in the neutral position and I turn left, the wheels turn in an opposite direction. Turn right, the wheels turn in an opposite direction. If you're going forward and you want to make a left turn slightly, the left side slows down just a bit and it skid turns to the left. Same thing with going to the right there. If I'm going forward, I can slow down and let the right side do a right turn. So very simple system right here. Switch number 2 is the engine kill, and switch number 1 is the motor brake. So a couple other features back here are this is a bypass diode that takes if you stop the motors but don't and release the motor brakes and it's going downhill, it could possibly generate voltage as the mower coasts downhill and creates a backflow voltage within the system. So you need to be able to have a way for the power to go back to the battery under an unpowered situation, and so that's what that diode does. The RoboClaw has a diagram in their literature that shows why that's important and how that works. The other is I've also got a charging port back here for the 24-volt charger. So when I'm done, everything can be turned off and I can plug in the charger and charge the batteries that way. And this pigtail right here connects to the body, and that gives power to the headlights and the flashing warning lights. And that is wired in parallel with the motor brakes. So when the motor brakes are released, the warning lights come on and it shows me that the bot is ready to move. And if the motor brakes are off or on, engaged, then the lights shut off and I know that I shouldn't be giving power to the motors that way. So, and we'll show you that body in just a second. And so this is the fun part of the project. I put a body on top of this mower system that imitates something like a little space rover theme or something like that. It's 1/4-inch plywood with a layer of fiberglass over it to stabilize it, and some lights and doodads to kind of make it look spacey. The gold foil is like just a film that's supposed to emulate like space glass, and I got a few antennas and grills. There's a grill on top that lets some heat out of the top area, and then these grills on the side lets heat out as well. A few handles, and the tied into the motor brakes are the lighting system. So when the brakes are released, the headlights and the warning lights come on and give it a little fun action when I'm mowing.